How many pumpkin seeds in a pumpkin? By Margaret McNara. Charlie liked school. He liked his teacher, Mr. Tiffin. He liked his best friend, Alex. But he did not like lining up to go into school. Mr. Tuffin's class lined up by size, tallest to smallest or smallest to tallest. Charlie was the smallest in the class, every time. One chilly fall morning, Charlie was surprised to see three bright orange pumpkins on Mr. Tiffin's desk. One pumpkin was big, one was medium, and one was small. How many seeds in a pumpkin? Mr. Tiffin asked the class. Does anybody know? Nobody knew, but everyone had an idea. The biggest one has the most, said Robert. I bet it has 1 million seeds. Robert was the tallest boy in the class. The medium one has 500, Eleanor said. Eleanor always sounded as if she knew exactly what she was talking about. The tiny one has 22, said Anna. Anna liked even numbers better than odd ones. Mr. Tiffin wrote down all the guesses on the blackboard. Charlie was very quiet. What are you thinking, Charlie? Asked Mr. Tiffin. I'm thinking that all the best guesses are taken, Charlie said. Why don't we open pumpkin seeds up to see? Said Mr. Tiffin. The next day, the kids in Mr. Tiffin's class brought in spoons for scooping and bowls for holding the plastic bags for throwing out. They covered the floor with newspaper. They put the sock on their socks. It's a messy business. Counting pumpkin seed, said Mr. Tiffin, but the class was ready. After Mr. Tiffin cut a circle around each pumpkin stem, Kim, Alex, and Jake pulled off the cap. The children peered inside. This one definitely has the most, said Robert. We'll see, said Mr. Tiffin. The pumpkin pulp was slimy and stringy, and the seeds were hard to get out. When the children were finished, they were three empty pumpkins, three full bowls. Tomorrow we will find out the answer to the question. And 20 messy hands, said Mr. Tiffin. Tonight your homework is to think about how we should count all the seeds. That afternoon, Mr. Tiffin dried the seeds. The next day, he put them in a paper bag marked big, medium, and small. Did you do your thinking homework? He asked the class. Yes, said Alex. I think we should just guess. I think we should count very, very carefully, said Tara. I think we should count by 2, 5, and 10, said Molly. The class agreed that Molly had a good idea. Mr. Timmy and Jake all wanted to count the seeds in the big pumpkin by twos. Anna asked if she could join them. We can count, we can be the two club, she said. They practiced counting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. They said together. Jeremy, Tara, and Eleanor, Molly, and Alex like nothing like counting by fives. We'll count the seeds in medium pumpkin, said Molly. We can be five clubs. 5, 10, 15, 20. They cheered. I'll take the smallest pumpkin, said Charlie. I guess I'll be in the tens club. Good idea, said Mr. Tiffin. 10, 20, 30. Charlie began. Soon there were many groups of seeds in front of each pumpkin. See, said Robert, two's clubs has the most. They had 170 pairs of seeds. We have lots too, said Eleanor. They had 63 groups of 5 seeds and 1 seed left over. Charlie had exactly 35 groups of 10 seeds. Robert looked at the seeds in front of Charlie. You don't have a whole lot, he said. Let's keep counting, said Mr. Tiffin. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12. Began Robert, Kimmy, Jake, and Anna. It took a long time to count 170 pairs of seeds. My brain hurts, said Anna. The biggest pumpkin has 340 seeds, almost a million, said Jake. The fives were the little easier. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, chanted Jeremy, Tara, Eleanor, and Molly. There were 316 seeds in the medium pumpkin. Too bad for you, Robert. It's not a contest, said Molly. The tens were the fastest of all, since there were just 35 groups. 10, 20, 30, 40. Charlie counted to himself. This can be right, he said. What can't be right? Asked Mr. Tiffin. There are 350 seeds in the little pumpkin, said Charlie. That means it has the most of all. So it does, said Mr. Tiffin. Congratulations, Charlie, said Alex. The tens clubs wins. It's not a contest, said Robert. Mr. Tiffin told the class to gather around. You can never tell how many seeds are in a pumpkin until you open it up, he said. But there may be some clues. Take a good look at these. The class did. Charlie is dark orange, said Anna, and it has more lines in the outside, said Robert. Yep, said Mr. Tiffin. For each line on the outside, there is a row of seeds on the inside. That's good to know, said Eleanor. The longer the pumpkin grows, the more lines it gets. He added, its skin gets darker too. So even though my pumpkin was the smallest, it was on the vines the longest, said Charlie. Exactly, Mr. Tiffin. When it was time to go home, the class lined up by the door, smallest to tallest this time, said Mr. Tiffin. Robert was in the back, Eleanor in the middle, Charlie was in the front. Small things can have a lot going on inside them, Charlie said to Mr. Tiffin. And then they left the classroom with Charlie leading the way. Charlie's pumpkin facts. 1. Pumpkin seeds are small but powerful. A whole huge pumpkin grows from a tiny seed. 2. You can eat pumpkin seeds if you want, but you should ask somebody to roast them first. They can contain lots of vitamin A.